expecting kutangiza nko final.
By the way, Jasper, na from Chakanchi Gamba TV, I'm not happy with the sports journalists in Uganda.
I watched to
Think Wakunda.
Please go ahead.
Because you guys have not added value to sports.
Okay.
There's no way you can go and debate to the President Museveni because what we're supposed to do. That's why it's not funded. Because it doesn't bring anything. But if people can bring themes, marketing strategies, when it comes to sports that add value, why wouldn't Uganda, for example, now have a part of Africa tournament?
I understand what you're saying, but we have tried our best. We use our voices. We use our voices to put out the message.
Journalism is the second state.
I know. I know when it comes to.
But I've watched them over time. I've not had the protest over pushing us sports. I take ati tutusenga mu economy ngabana tutushana milimo.
True.
But we have very many talents. Kati yesterday. I was watching on DSTV. Yeah, there's a marathon I was watching. Ethiopia, Yadinamu, Nenonya Uganda, Makazinga Tisiraba. Never you bana talents. Katavazim Abuazi, ka facility. But these are things that we can push to Gamba Katuano. Our youth Tebagara Kora. Tebagari Mamwani.
Naiba Solo Kosa in Talanta Zabo.
Katibu gama no take facility ya discuss wano kabari mu bachegabo within 10 years tubura kanyuga mukumanyi gibani kuza able people teach them put in the technique chiba chitini as an investment, but in the long run we should diversify the economy. The only thing that can save Uganda now when it comes to economics, going back to the grassroots of agriculture,
identifying where people are capable. Okay, I understand what you're saying.
The journalists,
Elisha, we have used our voices to at least to advocate for Uganda's investment into sports. Because it's a fair. Okusaba ebyemizanyo beko ebituka mu gwanga naye looks like our say is not influential, as we can say. Ate nekirala tusanze more of nkokola, yeah, tusanze more of nkokola.
That's part.
Everybody is looking for where they can
eat.
That means we tuna watutaddeyo edobozi ne waba wali kuba muko ku sente, people will divert. Won't take it. Ate nekirala tusanze nti population yaffe bagala nnyo ebweru. Our people bagala nnyo asenomaniyo. Kati teningi joge mugamba nti ate tuinawo team like Sida Gang, tuinawo team Mbarara City nako yizo ngolacho sanga mpira gwa Mbarara City nga gulika abantu 50 naye nga ogwase ne gujja kuba gujjudde guti ate nga eri basasudde ate ono tebagala kusasula ajje kacheka nakugamba ejje mpira ne yaruko tushembe kwa tutahira mbushi and bwatuka kugwasina ayagala kwate sente za afunye atike asasuli wali kati yawo nitosanga nga tulina bingi bya kubatolinga.
That's true.
So for us tukoze ogwaffe, but that is how things are going. Okundwa bintu bikugenda kuni yo muri Mbarara na mnongo muri bulanje bizoba ebyemizango kwe base kwa mbigenda bityo bitu nchirina manager Elisha, program the sports desk kando guno mwali abatebekanise Mbarara Sports Arena Super League open category na Mbarara Sports Arena 30 plus league era tancheri zoba harshahemwe kulia omurika koba off roundabout mukono gwa buryo wabanoza Nyakizi ahife ya Church of Uganda yakakoba kandi opposite na Besania Sako aho nhochichayi cha Mbarara Sports Arena chiri kandi mzano era base kuba neba ira Nyakazoba yakugambe teams zirazane wawazirebere groups wazireba wale teams okuziri ezibase nze handikisa binje byabasa kwana tugambira kwatagenda Mbarara Sports Arena now otuchize tubase kuba tugamba teams eziyomu mpaka za Fufa Stadiums Uganda Premier League ampira gwitu gwa Uganda hata Elisha HON kwenda to discussing ompiro kuna areba gwa ka level chi apparently as we speak team Mbarara City mbazaka bari omuchai kacheka eri nyencha kare bari kuzana team yabagenzi bitu aba UPDF ningashi yamahigihanga kandi ojike ngo bayimbarga kuriya muri Mbale. In fact bamare cyo kimwe n'icweka bagarucire ahibi yiro bahanguzi bwa gole mwarusha gole etebirwe Henry Kitegenyi noza kwasa kwa nogire baho umisho goal etebirwe Henry Kitegenyi basinga na gole mwarusha nchuma isango basimirundi ebiri bari kusinga 1-0 bakusinga team ya Mbale. In fact niyo double ibe base completing mu season age kutera team home and away. Joseph akandwa nawo ataka base kwa na agenda akasiga yatera free kick yabe Hans Munonga yanywira chika bakusinga Mbale Heroes na goal mwarusha now kubagire kuriya muri Mbale main stadium babase kwamba singana goal mwarusha goal teberwe Henry Kitegenyi uza kwa nogireba Elisha team Mbarara City bari batakoraje now they have started getting wins away. Nchimanyisa chahabwa ati image kugombo nje bizo now that tibine Joseph akandwa na basekwa na agenda nazo muri Tanzania norewe team Mbarara City.
But I think team Mbarara City it's running when you go to the prayer quiet and what it's running on the basis of the coaching staff. They are doing a great job because whatever when it comes to paper team kanga.
Okay,
but it gives those fair results and what. So ninyebaza munonga coaching staff ya Mbarara City.
That is coach Charles Livingstone Mbabazi, Zaidi kwa so in fact coach Muyaba Bass Muyaba.
Yeah. So nimbebaza munonga noreba ngo mainly tinchina kujigamba because when it comes to technicality but when it comes to norengu team there's something that is pushing it. Hate abokuba most of us here ekingwe na mushomesa abantu kanto jump ya gwitu it's what about they see on the ground twini behind the scenes cyo kujya bakora kujya ngo Pogba bamubinjira team kujya ngo mu dressing room ngo naijeta atazwireje ngo cyo affecting win zabo no so butachicenga konka those things we should be analyzed and should be accepted in football to change it. True. They are behind the scenes of football.
Okay.
Apart from what's happening on the ground. Mental stability, amusana mabashashuraje, tokumashashuraje. Kana ati ni Mbarara City this support it's getting ahead hati. It's coaching staff.
Okay. That is the goal that came through from Henry Kitegenyi obaye base kwamba zana kuria muri Mbale Municipal Stadium. Ejo goal dakika yanshanjwe na mwenda LSR team ya Mbarara City yatunga ubone option kurga team ya Mbale Heroes. That was a powerful header, very powerful outside the 6-yard area. Base kona ati no mutwe man Munonga Kitegenyi nyonkanye ninza kugambara abantu kugira ngo Mbarara City as results tukureba zibase kwani stibwaho okumanya kwa batende cyabari ya technical bench team yo nata turi kugambara eyemerira man ga coaching staff abo kugira ngo abazandu barunji bari we cannot say they are national material.
They are not. That's the truth.
So they are average players, but giving out average results or fair results, we can say. Konga kurijira bwenje kwa batende cyo bine coach Livingstone Mbabazi, coach Zaidi kwa so passe muyaba babase kwamba kora teamage mbagisia awaheri matches in the last season tubarabase kwamba kora kurunja mzano mshanje ya bene semba yo bakabine mu win actually bakabine mu draw emwe in the last 7 games and tubaratuhire winner kacheka but we expect kugira ngo tuhagaruka tutandikana team ya UPDF au not expecting win team ya UPDF at home tuitagoba hangzoge against UPDF muri kacheka but na UPDF nayo byawe bitari birunje munonga nobwereke kubasa kuba negoma kazi ga 00 itabase kuba neteba we are waiting to see tuchine emizano minje ari kwija but talking about team Mbarara City bakazana friend na Kigezi Homeboys ndebiro on break ukare ompiro very tough. Kigezi Homeboys baka proving to be very versatile against Mbarara City especially not to consider goal at kacheka kando mu records buri kuija kacheka Kigezi Homeboys
naje gaseko simanyo abana njishonjo mvuza wagzi yegase ku Kigezi Homeboys
wegase ku Kigezi Homeboys officially Elisha wanaye Kigezi Homeboys
when someone is doing something good unaranga pushing amidst anything you thinking outside the box. I will support them already.
Kigezi Homeboys is one of those teams enunji munonga. Mbarara City versus Kigezi Homeboys, we have some of those pictures noza kwa nobereba aho. Ompira gabasa kwa nguba very tight. Nkani ndakata kuja ngo Mbarara City kuya tayiro muri Kigezi, that is Kigezi Municipal Stadium bakabasa kwa batera yo goal emwe aharusha. And now Chigezi has also introduced some of the new signings. Babasize kuba no signing abazana kuruguma express basaininga Enoch Tumwesije kuruga kuriya team ya Karo Karunji waba captain ya Karo Karunji tutekateka kugira ngo at least mu second round Chigezi neza gukora jo mu big league B tumbaza kutandika na team ya Ntunga Saze mu second round ebiro bibiri bya match ndwe barabase kwamba garuka mu second round ya big league ubwo no mwari yabo new signings ba team Mbarara City asakuba kana shara abantu aho tureba chimungu introductions is a team Mbarara City babase kwamba bakora otire mu Noah Noah ahumuza the likes of Aaron basanje goalkeeper okata Aaron akakwata ku team ya Terrors and Towers obyaberiyo mu big league Choni Aaron abase kuba na signing goalkeeper musya then turebere na Busoro na take performances nungi in fact no mari yabine goals ibiro mu team ya Mbarara City then abanda babase kwamba koreja team ya Mbarara City ni Said Argumaho aine goals mukaga bito bwa hatu wale heno kitegenyi na bakuteba goal ye ya kabiri so ntweba kimwe kugira ngo enshonga za Mbarara City nzibasa kuterera na munonga ahasande kuba raimba zano muzano gabanyani bitu aba UPDF ninga team y'abanyamahebi hangere so enshongezo nikoze meri still talking about the Uganda Premier League no rebo ta season age na mnonga in terms of goals abana base kwamba bateba goals mu Premier League season age Alan Okero goals 13 Ivan Ahimbisibwe goals mwenda Said Argumaho goals mukaga no rebo ta performance ya season age mu Premier League habireho improvement.
There's no improvement.
Really?
That. There's no improvement.
Bwanyuma ya yechuka cha season to goals bira 5 nemwe ona tokora ngoje be achievement tubase kwantu abana bajezo ku improving
bonka bazani
on an individual basis be improving.
Individual basis we improving.
Kwachi mwere meti yemicho mbi turebere mutwali mugoro turebere mutwali mugorofa.
It's at breaking really if you are very
breaking atuna kwetegereza Elisha audio muntu wakapira mutwali mugorofa goalkeeper wa team ya KCCA bwema yokisa kumuteba goal kandi akabasa kubana yachiro musigazi na mutere bukonde and that was so breaking ebishanebyo ntsakwantu bitunga later on but tubase kwantu turebera kimwe KCCA ni hona ubutaba punished Kakonde gwakabaje omuzani wa KCCA 2023 bakamugura kanarga umuyanga ya Congo akabasa kona atera referee Mashude Chikonde referee taramurebere referee tarampanishinjire kuonka video kamureba mbwenu recently actually yesterday but one obayimbazana team ya NEC ahari Philip Omondi Stadium mu Rugogo bakuluzingo mpiro gwe 1-0 mutwali mugorofa goalkeeper bamutire goal uri muzanija ku mpiro mukatimba oguyamchutire bikonde ikintu kibere kiri very very dangerous and in fact abena deserving kwebwa na band konga KCCA honde kabudisho
but just honestly what does it take so that every Super League player to play in the Super League, you must have a certificate of anger management and a certificate of conflict resolution. I'm giving an example, like 5 certificates. At any period of time, our club from June to August. Our players will have a certificate by JIG. Ezo za certificates zabo ukashanga gato ushanga kuja to play in the Super League you must have this and this certificate. For the Ugandan FUFA for the Ugandan Federation to play in the Super League you must have okura mtu netaga yellow fever to travel. Don't we get it into gender?
We can.
What does it cost?
We can do that. It costs less. The federation can afford that.
So that's why sometimes
levels, mental levels.
Sometimes when I'm talking about Uganda sports, people think that maybe I don't want it or I am always on the
people can
side.
think you're negative about Uganda football.
But there's small things that kitchen now. There's small things really. They don't even need a budget. Even if you can pass it tomorrow, go to Achigamba. But done. This and this, where does it? Who do we need? We need about 10 instructors. Monthly salary, club basis, what should the club pay? This and this, like 10 million.
All right. Now quit the jeers. Nshonga ya Elisha ni nkuru. So
small things really.
Emicho mu league ya Uganda
discipline wana mitu maza pro.
Barimo.
Omwana za pro konkosha ngompe na agumanya. tama kujwaraje tama ichokurumba tu tama nya
Takuma
training
time management.
shazinga
Yes.
tama nya training nandi ya training ne kolaki nani na banywane banje nyine bagambira anta how do I make friendship within the team members bimwe meso mpira hato shanga inempara na Jasper inempara na Elisha ojiroti takuja training omushauri we na dropping aracho mu dropping ojiroti bode munaka umpira gumuremiri ko gutari umupira buburi bwa behind the scenes ikiko ngambira
nisho makuru munonga. Let's talk about the fixtures is UPL fixtures ubase kureba teams zose kwanza njenzazo eri Nyakazoba Uganda State Fufa Premier League imzanejo legendo misho eri Nyakazoba twine fixtures nyingi zo rabase kuba no yerebera ukabasa kuba no manya bito muri ezo fixtures twine mu ekiri kumanywa nka the Kampala Derby gumwa hari eje mizano ebasize kuba nereta etutumuringa sheneta amani minji munonga when it comes to football in Uganda. That is SCVia versus Express kandi SCVia ishwa nguneta isiza kuria muri Luzira omuchacha abagenzi bitu aba Maroons mwishoka kujya kuria muri Kabaka Ronald Mwenda Mutebe Memorial Stadium bakawasa kubamba chayecho badanga kuchikora kucha upgrading kujya mu accommodating training ahabwe pakeze kujiza cyane kandi hamwe na 2027 Africa Cup of Nations. So ahituru kugambira SCVia mbada isiza kuria muri Luzira eri Nyakazoba mbaza kubamba na team ya Express mukwano gwabanji izi nizo team izibasekwana ziba bakorwa bwire bwa kare munonga kandi kusiya hatu mu generation 8 turumu. So ugundu mwa mpira yitukutagatagoneza ko biri mpira ya man munonga Express versus SCVia. In fact ndora kimwe kujangu team ya Express eji ibasekwana erga omulos URA kabasa kuba ne mushitamisa mpira B2 na Bull ya mushitamisa Bull nyeshe mbere mushitamisa goals ibiri aharusha. So izo fixtures iri Nyakazoba arisha 10 nzakwa turebe mpira gwamani mnongo muri Kampala. Yes, ompira ogwe bokusinga kwasa kuba net tumu SCVia enkoko ningashijo gusalongo baza kwa mazana Express FC mukwano gwabanji arisha 10 omuri zira kandi toba kimwe kujangu team ya URA negaruko munsiche barkuzana team ya Maroons aho Ivan ayimsibwe omwana witu womuka tugize kureba kandi abasegumza muno kuteba na form yabayine mu first half of the season. Anza kweba kimwe team ya Uganda Police ebase kwa neterwa Uganda Police base kuma kitagore mwarusha kuriya umurugazi hati ne kwa nejorana nek batuzingu n'amashanyarazi coach Hussein Balangu atugize nek n'amashanyarazi sha mwenda nyencha kare baza ko marito na busobwa ntama Lugazi negaruka mu na team y'abanyanitu aba Wakiso Giants okumuru Wakiso twine yabasagaza bakorwa kuno mu Burenje Rwizoba umuri Ambrose Alinda Marvin Oshaba kandi na Ahumuza ibona baryaho ntora kimwe kujangu. Later on team ya Bull Football Club mbaza kuba kandi mbija kuzwana na team ya Solitiro Bright Stars kataje turebe nshongezo kuzabase kuba nizitambara munywani wanje. Then on Monday team ya Chitara kuriya muri Butema aiba basekomba tanka kubakora ko mununga abatakatwara coach Waswa Bossa nwe yabasekuba naza ombigire bya munywani witu coach Brian Senyondo. So mbaza kubambazana abagenzi bitu kandi abasolitiro Bright Stars Vipers kuko waberebere bazana KCCA jo nayo dabe erganye nchakare tugeze kureba weekend eji neza kutuberayo KCCA Viper SCV Express chingo kutukwa nturebe mpira ya Hero Man City Man U Everton Liverpool. So mpira eji nogamba china mnonga gwa KCCA nangwa nogwa SCV.
Okay, SCV la Express ogompya gwa sona utaho
we wale munomanya zano gwe ngwasa ngwazo butakwa kurjira ngwazo butawa
but for the KCCA Vipers it's going to be a football showcase. Hatabo when it comes to a KCCA Vipers it's like a derby, but uptown derby is classic, so they will come and showcase football. Bezarawe bakwese ko nkaguriyo guito gwa kesi Vira Express
muri Mbera
watago tukagikizitabazira tukagikiza no tutebuta rero saro kusteba
era cyo kushiti disappoint
remember Vira fan tukateba tukakikirize
mukwano gw'abandi kati turebe Express ari yo ruti komanyo kumara wase kubona mutwaze eshongezo but from records ogungo mpire gutsinyire ko wasa kuba nguteka Uganda yona ahabunkenke Kampala Derby. That is SC Villa versus Express mukwano gw'abanji ngakora 19 Express match as SC TV yabe record champions emirundi 17 babasekwa mbahangure chikopo cha Uganda emirundi 17 bo bananta mego be chikopo by the way konka ari turi kugambira ibintu byabo kateze turebe manga bahatagari ari Patrick John Kakande no watsingire ko basa kubana bakora kurungi. Let's wait and see if he's going to help that team. So inshongeze ko kwazireba team ya Mbarara City bazana kosha nyencha kare bakuzana team ya UPDF Chai Kacheka Stadium otaka basa kubana oferwa. Talking about the top scorers, twine top scorers aba league bine ba top scorers aba league noza kubana horebera kimwe bagenzi bitu nkasayiri arguma wahi bari John Flyer ningashine chipande chirenchi kugambira ahampira gwa Mbarara City nzoza kubana turebera kimwe bakwija. Talking about those top scorers no rebera kimwe kugira ngo munywani witu Alan Okero achebe mbire kandi Ivan Ahimsibwe ari umwanya gwa kabiri nzoza kubana turebera kimwe kandi kubikutambura. In fact nyonkanye nintegateka kugira ngo numbers don't lie. Mwana wit Alan Okero na basakugumiza mwaye mbire kimeze kimpaka amuheru kandi no manya kurungi ngo eligena bamuteye kugira ngo nateba penalties but na goals on open play na steve.
But Alan Okero wale bompira gwe it has really changed.
Okay,
it has become professional engineer kuzana no professional reason being akatambo cyane ingambira akatambura
katambura kandi akatanzuma academy
in Kenya interviews ese bina recent interviews that way he speaks to the media. This guy has gotten exposure and should be a great example to the league.
True, and
we're happy to have him. We fans of sport.
By the way, recently ahirize kuhangura mpaka ya sports personality of the year omubya Zina awards very recently baze kubasa kubana hangura mpaka. So abone ba top scorers no rebo wito Mbarara City hari, that is Seyiri Argumao with 6 goals from the last 15 games. Baze kubana azana Kitegenyi ariyo murya bine goals 2 konka ndo turukubi bitu base kwanja team ya Mbarara City erikurwaho Joseph Kafumbe abase kubana gona zo mu team ya Heroes konka obasekwana umurebo muzano gwa nyomwe bazyo babasekwana azana against his home former team. So apart from that noza kureba table orewo kubyemerire team ya Vipers ebintu bichiba favoringa from that table team ya ogenzi bitu aba Vipers you can clearly see then followed by Nick coach Hussein Balangu atujizera ati twabantu zanda Shayirgogo ntibantu jeta Slaughter House at kandi hana hazanda yo KCCA nesigaye Philip Omondi Stadium mu Rugogo. So shongezo nikoze merire team ya Nek no jireba kano leo chimwe Express FC yabase kubane hika ntudebera chimwe team ya abanyanita ba URA abase kubane ko mwanya kandi gwa katano shonga nikoze base kubane zemerera katuje turebe kubera base kuba nebitambura munywane wanje ezo nzo ebyo nibyo kwatagine na team y'abanywani bitu aba Fufa Times Uganda Premier League erikutebekanisa emizane yihanga abwa National League eyo kubanza. Away from that, we need to talk about ladies football. Umuzano gw'abacyara Uganda erumne yitebekanisa umuzano ogwa WAFCON qualifier against Ethiopia. So ituri kugambira team y'abantu 39 bari mu kutendekwa kuri Hachayi na Kivubo wo Memorial Stadium omuri wankuru omuri Ham Stadium abinje kumujideri igenda ni Ham Stadium omuri Kampala hagati ekintu cyayi kiri hagati ya Kampala kuko ngora kubi abantu b'abadarumu why ntubantu tureba umupira ungoshanga abantu tubarumu icyayi kiri hagati ya town umuntu arasa kurwa umuduka kinga jezo mu kishayi kuko abantu b'abadarumu.
But is there a marketing budget for sports?
Inshongejo ni inkuru munonga. In fact no hokureba bari mba traininga ansiyo mutende chishe bodi Uganda. Tuni kwakundise kintu. Tukachibasi mpaka
kwakundise wakundise. Joti ngati KCCA Cranes otinka government ya printing ajazenka nkenkumibiri.
Yazereza abantu.
Yes, heriza abantu ko yashatu za
ninga ko abantu bona baraja cyane bo barazitwara batunga t-shirt sinkezo
umuntu nanyine jazine mahero erasigana ndaba ku mupira mai wetu turabempira na hero chirese sigana ndaba ku mupira nekati sinajazi Mbarara City sirenaki
we barerisha insonga yawe ni inkuru
muno. So those are things we should really attend to now on the board and push the country forward.
Okay. Ejo ni team yo kureba ni team y'abana babishiki ahabwe hangara ya Uganda.
Very talented.
Very talented.
I watched them play me. I watched them play.
neyetwa Crested Cranes netendekwa head coach uri kumanywa nka Sherry Botes Ulanda enzarwa ya South Africa kandi hashikiraha yabase ko natwereka aho cyayineho tukabasa ko twakira Namibia tukikatura goals 10 tugwa kabiri twajongera goals 8 twareka ngo ya line ahituri kugambara team eje yabase ko yigitwa ho abazanawe mbaguzanda heri yihanga nka Joanita aine mbabazi utire Fazila Equaput kandi hamwe n'abanywani bitu nka Shadia Nancha babase kwa mbegita teamage kutanga kutendekwa ishwa ngoro wakatano rukwija nibaza kuba munywani wanje nibazana team ya Ethiopia kandi achai na Chivubo War Memorial Stadium omuri abasha tunamwe bari kutendekwa turi mu mishoro kuruka kuni muri Mbarara na yetwa Wilma nazanda team ya Shigist nantumbu Wilma nazanda team ya Shigist abasekwa na yetwa teamejo kandi abandi twine mu Rina wa Boni Council Girls na wesirwe teamejo mbamanya kurunji munonga reka tubanze tuhure Zaina Nandede inebwa mubya kutugambira kwa tagine na no murundogu okuba kutendekwa then tugaruke.
I feel good being a versatile player at the club playing as a winger and at Crested Cranes playing as a right back. I really feel good because it was coach's decision and I liked it because when I play right back there is a way there is a way I watch the game clearly when how to do things. Yeah. Oh, it was quick because it was still the same line, right back and the same as the right winger. So it was nice for me because even when I was still playing right winger, I could the same time defend. So it was quick for me to adapt the position. I feel good being a versatile player at the club.
Ichikwa waka wa champions b'ekikopo cha FIFA Women Super League bito bwa hato mutende cha muhindwire ya mwiha right wing yabasakwa na mureta defense so hati turewa chimwa zimwa tactics za coach za batazi ku deploying wenko mutende chi that is coach Sherry Ulanda Botes tubasekwa tuganira nawe na waine bya tugambira noza kuba no muhura reka tumuhure na bwanyuma tugomezemo.
We know we cannot go against that. It's the FIFA weekend is from the 17th and a lot of the bulk of the players are arriving on the 17th. Some players are still playing matches on the 17th, so it's a FIFA rule, there's nothing we can do about that. But luckily now some are coming on the 14th and the 15th, and because some of the leagues are not active, so I'm really happy about that, so that we can start integrating them into the system. And yes, if the international players are not up to scratch, I'm not taking them. I'm not under pressure because they are international players. International players, they need to know they are treating the same as local players. They have to show me that they deserve to be in this team. So if you make a mistake and you start treating the international players in a different way, it's not going to work. It's not going to happen with me. They need to know now. They're coming in, they're flying in, and yes, they're coming in at the disadvantage, but their performance, they're playing in the better league, so they should be in a better condition. But if they're not, I'm not selecting them, and it's just the way it is. I want to make sure the players representing the Ugandan women's national team and this country, it must be the best players.
Botes Ulanda kandi norebera kimwe kugira ngo yanatugambire ko ataginde na team yeye yaba nabici abariyo nagizeho kubasa ko natendeka akabatereza ba goalkeepers norebera kimwe Ruth Aturo ko ariyo nagurukira kimwe na kwataka pira kugira ngo aje kuba na jwara kandi umucozi arukujwekeri yanga gitu ya Uganda kubasa kwambaza na Ethiopia tugize kureba last man ningashi last girl squad irabase ko neje y'abantu baperana bashatu kugira ngo turebe nibahabara base ko basigarayo ariyasha tunamwenda nibahabe baratemeho nibahi abi Sherry Botes ala sigaze ishika kugira ngo teamage najitendeka na coach Charles Ayeko Mbuzi ukakabasa kwa natendeka ho na team ya Nyamityobora yatendeka na team ya Kampala Queens yaza hono mu Tanzania kutendeka team ya Simba Queens bitu bwa hati ni assistant coach wa Sherry Botes Ulanda a national team kwetwa the Crested Cranes mune yetebekanisizo muzano ogwa abagenzi bitu aba Ethiopia kati je turebe nshongezo ngokuzo emerire noja kwasa kuba no itegereza byona kurga ha GNTV Sports Zone na Sports Desk nza kwant kwa updates za team ejo now kurigirira idakikaiza ka ukize tukutware ahiri hanga tubase kureba ebiri kugenda mu mission na mnonga when it comes to the Premier League tubase kubara ka fixtures za Premier League tubase kureba teams zirimo kuzikora abazana barho abo murembogo yabazana barho abo murembogo bashemeye kwamba tunge birabe bibakutunga na mnonga kutugama nka Ballon d'Or Elisha umugwire bwawe rebera abazana bingi mnonga.
Yeah, that's true.
The likes of Lionel Messi, we can say Cristiano Ronaldo, we can talk about Paolo Maldini, Piero, Andrea.
So, are you a Messi fan or a Ronaldo fan?
I will not discuss that.
No,
I know that I
believe
believe they are both talented. And Elisha,
are you a Messi fan?
I have to be neutral.
You have to be neutral, but now this is just
anyway, we can discuss.
Messi fan or we're not going to discuss this one to know which side you are on.
No, we can discuss. To me, I believe Ronaldo is incredible. I believe Ronaldo is incredible. Much as Messi is exceptionally talented.
Are you a Messi fan or Ronaldo fan?
I said I believe Cristiano is incredible.
Why would you believe they have been there, have seen them, what they have done?
Cristiano is incredible.
Yeah,
I would say.
You are a Cristiano fan.
Let's go.
Hey, thank you. That's what I was asking.
Okay, Elisha, I think you're making things complicated. Anyway, tune kugamba hari abazana bitose kwantureba obwa hati abaruho the likes of Kylian Mbappe, the likes of Jude Bellingham, tune kwasa kwantureba Vinicius Junior, Erling Brandt Haaland, Rodri wasa kwana hangora Ballon d'Or ya last season. Abazana bitukureba mwabenchi zo the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Mohamed Salah. We cannot talk about players utagamba Mohamed Salah.
Yeah.
Tugambe Elisha abazana bitwine ububwire nibashikana no mutindo gwa bari abenyi mabita bentureba kwangure barabe na mnunga Ballon d'Or
ngatabana the saying that change bireho abana abari yamane mu gijogoro hati they are products of an academy, I think.
Yeah, academy products, yes,
of a system which is good when it comes to professional business, but which can't compete with nature and talent.
Okay.
I was able to between kali bakaba product ya talent,
pure talent.
Pure talent. So I think those guys set the bar so high. So many discussing. Imagine, shall we ever see a person take 8 Ballon d'Ors? For us, we shall leave the world. Maybe talk maybe aranga, but I'm sure if we are still alive with our lifespan, take kumareba.
Mwiine.
The guy has been magnificent. Nugamba Ronaldo wanyoge. But when you go to real football and real stats,
but statistics don't lie. Numbers don't lie when
numbers don't lie, but the numbers where there's also numbers and truth.
Numbers and truth.
Hey, arakureba umteka kore kintu.
From numbers.
So I was discussing to people, me, I've analyzed football. I'm a national fan.
Hey, you are a national fan.
But I always tell people that I watched the back of Nemanja
Vidic, yeah,
with the
Rio Ferdinand,
very incredible.
Patrice Evra in that defense line.
I mean the centre back.
Oh, the centre back.
Very incredible, one of a kind, and to take time. This is a centre back. Nigeria Funa Subotic and Hummels.
And Matt Hummels, yes.
In Dortmund.
Borussia Dortmund.
That's centre back. 2. And now Arsenal is also building it now, Saliba and Gabriel. You get? So football really Ballon d'Or kati tujuani, like this is what we are saying at the moment. I think that is Neymar. Did you watch Neymar? No, I watched Neymar, but Neymar came in a wrong era. He came in a wrong era
in the shadows of Lionel Messi.
Exactly, and Ronaldo.
And you talk about pure talent, you need to talk about Neymar.
Neymar's
pure talented.
Yeah, I guess Ronaldinho, the greatest of all times. Ronaldinho Gaucho.
But what should we do? Look at that, especially when you talk about Neymar and you don't talk about that.
Kati, it's your name. now until you see what Neymar is doing there. Now the Football Federation FIFA is killing it.
Really? But they're trying to do football development across the world. I have seen Arsene Wenger being employed as the football development chief at FIFA.
Because he says the truth. They give him that position because Arsene Wenger is like me.
And
he says that
some
that's
principles
truth.
which are
He says
actually
the truth.
He has actually developed some principles, and some of the researches that he has done, they are showing that a player in Africa touches the ball at a maximum of 5,000 times. But a footballer in Europe touches the ball or feels the ball at a maximum of 50,000 times. That means the player in Europe will have a clear chance ahead of an African player who has touched this ball a fewer times than a player in Europe. Turebere vyenga nataira insista kushana encheho nagize okutwara yo byinji by'entunguko mu mupira nabyo kutungura abazana bo mupira konka na drati amahanga gamwe nka Uganda na Uganda akari munsi yona abazana tubakutunga playing time no gamba chance ongejo.
So what Wenger is trying to do is like an office job, what you can do, but this is your mupira gonyine gwa kare. This is whereby we would assemble a team, be a coach, and you find a coach's role was mainly to see who's physically fit, Azane, who's not, who's on injury at Azana, who went to substitute na kayaro haninga tiyaro. That was the role of a coach in our ancient football. Umpira gwati coach na Azani sabazani ushanga barinka robots. Ushanga De Bruyne don't shoot into the box. Odegaard don't shoot.
Come control it. Don't
you pass the ball.
Hey.
I want you to play like this. Konka guri yugaguru talent.
Olumunda sharam
we chama na kwa squad. Akora squad zo mu cyayi. Uhurindiba.
Ngwini.
The likes of Andre Pirlo,
yeah.
The likes of Steven Gerrard. How many goals have we seen in the next 5 seasons? Who's going to center outside the box? Steven Gerrard style.
Without the likes of Wayne Rooney, Steven Gerrard,
James Frank Lampard.
So what are we seeing nowadays? We are seeing artificially generated football. Is that what you're saying?
Artificially generated, and it's no longer fun, really. That's people who have had a chance, and which we don't have a good chance, but we are that era where there was technology came through, cameras were colored, and we watched football on a good screen, and it has now gone. So I think we have lost it.
How about these days when we have seen Pep Guardiola take Man City to the top of the table with 100 points, and which was very rare for.
How can you take a league 5 seasons consecutively?
5 consecutive seasons.
Why would you take it?
Madrid winning UEFA Champions League 4 times consecutive.
It has lost the meaning. But there was a debate. You find AC Milan,
Liverpool coming in there.
You meet
Inter Milan
you
in 2010 financial way. Some of those goals like that one, you see Wayne Rooney with that overhead kick. I think that was 2011. Wayne Rooney against Man City. That's a goal that shook the world.
Why always me? Remember that?
Balotelli, yes. I remember when Balotelli.
But now someone wins a derby. A derby, there's an Clasico. Have missed the Clasicos now.
You've missed the Clasicos. Not even when Real Madrid is now conceding 4 goals from Barcelona.
But
not those days of Gutinez generated.
Zana half 4-4-2
passing just.
Your information there was no big about formation.
Actually, it wasn't big about formation. Talking about the English Premier League, that is one of those historical goals scored by Wayne Rooney against Manchester City in that derby. That was, I think, in 2011. Yeah, in a return leg, you know what Balotelli did to them.
Why always me?
I remember also that was one of those goals that was nominated for Puskas Award.
But
Garnacho was a sidekick.
But for that,
I like that one. We have seen that goal from Cristiano also in the Champions League against Juventus. It was actually recently voted as the best goal of all times.
But Zlatan was like they should go closer to the center. Why in a box? Zlatan Kadabra.
You talk about Messi dribbling past all the defenders and beating Real Madrid.
Look at that.
Dribble past all the defenders. And these days we cannot see this.
They say he has broken all the motions of football, all the rules of football. Look at that. So anyway, I don't know why Ronaldo fans do that.
So are we looking at a repeat? Are we looking at a repeat of maybe getting Messi in Lamine Yamal of Barcelona? Are we looking at another Messi?
To be hard to get.
We had hopes in Ansu Fati. Think Manicha
Ansu Fati ninja kika emotions as a young kid. Some of our menga is psychology no ya mtanjiro of mpena agumanya kwa psychologically to England, we at Brighton, we kayo when how you was wa mangwaje na star and depression. I think it's depression and people don't know why it. So kwa they are now programmed to mutega akakura na yirebe mutancha Messi. The moment Messi leaves, I am I'm black. Nikuzombi jirebyeye.
Mwiine.
Nikauti muti yankunda yantarone na azaro mapachi tukaguzana. But if it was the old football, like I'm going to prove them wrong.
Okay. I'm
going to come and play. Are you getting me? So me, by the way, I want to go back and do some more into psychology, say them more about psychology, because that's what affects everyone.
Ensonga jeni nkuru kuba nindebera kimwe generation ya Messi na Ronaldo ntwasobota gitungo gundi but abana baraheri genda the likes of Erling Brandt Haaland. In fact we talked about that Champions League goal, the height he took off the ground, the angles of his legs, the way he swung into the air. That goal was actually voted the best goal.
More so against Buffon.
Against Buffon.
Yeah, the credits are not about the goal, but the credits were giving it against who?
Okay. Okay. From what you're saying, Buffon was the best goalkeeper at the moment. I think that was 2018. Look at those angles. You jump like that.
A good product of hard work. I wish he was an African.
Being an African, we last had somebody win a Ballon d'Or in Africa in the 90s. That is George Weah. We have never had some other person win a Ballon d'Or or nominated for a Ballon d'Or. They won two titles consecutive, but he also did not win.
They were in a wrong era.
They came in a wrong era.
Of the Messiah.
Like Messiah. You see all those Juventus fans. In fact, all the fans in the stadium, they rose up. Look at how Zidane reacted. That was incredible. Anyway, still in the Premier League, we have to tell you that the Fulham game has actually been postponed. Fulham, there's been actually a confirmation statement that has come in through here. Bajangu, with our fixture against Tottenham Hotspur moving to Sunday, and the Premier League has confirmed that it will kick off at 1:30 p.m. So twatunga that breaking story from the Premier League. Ompira gwa Fulham bakuzana Tottenham bawasa kwamba kuongezayo mpaka Sunday kandi kuza kuba Sunday 16 kandi kuza kuba nukuzanwa Elisha Mushanji n'Striker omushayiza akuri mu Bungereza. So that means it is Mushanji plus 3 zitezaha no where awese kubaniza kuba kandi eri ale kick off. Talking about your team Arsenal, Kai Havertz has been injured. Kai Havertz abasekuba
gituwagarira dera funga Arsenal
ubuhuta ubaye bari mu Dubai mu camp ibaye bari mu traininga bakwetera zempera ya weekend
ejo tukwendita Arsenal tushimira tukoze nembaga
Kai Havertz abina bateganisa
abena tutebera
but looking at his
numbers striker
abina batebera konkani mwenda striker
ateta
so that is tumanditse nebara ngukaya rwari ateta kirebe ngo
striker ntwenda kuhangwa turuhiri ku bakabiri project yetahwa ni yari tubanze tufing project
and you are right by the one to Arsenal mubona bwine you're not tired but you guys have suffered a lot
twamutemu twageza mafina tumukwata imbere
Elisha for you ladies and gentlemen
turihire vanite wa kabiri
ati mushazire mwamukwata
sinche baruhi pango abo kuba really. It's a big club. You sign us players. Let them play one season. We lift something.
Banzo kwate manager Elisha. Niza kugarukira twantuhindira bako bashaza ko nyine kubamanyisa kugira ngo program ya Miracle Monday Altar ya King of Kings Church kamukuzi nija kubane baho buru kubanza aho aharishayi 11 kandi okuruga shaha 10 zo mukasheshe kwikashaye moyo mwazi burmande naba hariho okushaba leta barwire leta empumi nebiteta Bishop Dr. Cyrus Tayibwa abase kuba nabashabira. That will be on Monday. So no kubeta mwena ahabwa Miracle Monday altar a King of Kings Church, loving God, loving you kunuya omorikam kuzibasa kwa no litabarwire litababona binebizubu bishop abase kuba kandi nabashabira wa King of Kings Church, loving God, loving you kuno kumanisibwa kuna hatungeria Nyakazoba. Now kangaruke wa manja Elisha esha kuziyo kuzawayo tell the message achikwata gine na Mbarara Sports Arena yusi abantu bete then ohezo baka wa kushemba.
Yes, once again GNTV, really thanks for the sports. Mbarara Sports Arena is there. Let's come, let's support, let's enjoy football. Because you know the theme yanje, let's enjoy sports at every cost. Then the league is going to start tonight. We shall be in live action. Tuzane, tubetuliyo muje mahajeri league, muje team zetu nyumire. Then also GNTV, mwebale munonga working with the community really.
Okay.
It's a very big thing by the way, since we much so watch kora. Nemba n'abantu with together. Then nebera me person tweet. We analyze soccer at a different angle.
It's okay.
Hey, we come
this
through,
is home.
we support, we do what. Now such a big chief, batereze burunja which.
Batereze wali olusania tuje.
Wiki, nzemba wade wiki,
but you wali eri. One week mbetereze.
Mbarisa.
Big Chef Restaurant Elisha yajamwetereze in 1 week nsako antu koraho esione kuchireba.
Awutwanyumize kumboza Pogba, career ya Pogba, what happened?
But he's coming back to football.
What happened? Tunalizing career yo muntu, Emmanuel Buwa. We live around supposed to banyumize how footballers are being scammed in Europe. Na waso mukazo muzungu na bakose tuzona. Tuve ku sports ka tuwe inclusive. Ebisubiga babwire bateka wari ngo kungabwe.
Teka wari ngo kungabwe yako.
Ngewe manyumize bitebyo. I thank you very much.
All right, nshongeze mwazihura, that is manager Elisha to in family baramusiho, we in family baramusiye banywana bawe, then we go.
Ninda musiye abantu bambara bona. Aho abantu bambara abantu bebintu binje munonga kandi bitarabase. Just cause I'm just open minded. Meya watu
berengo ze kwesima bwa. Nora ni byinje byo.
Ni byinje.
Cyawo no kusabinga ka
give up your opinion, let it be shared, explain your opinion. Ninda musaburi yo Mwiine abanywani banje, ndamusambara na staff men labinkora nabo. Manager Brian, director Twaha, director Eddie Kenzo, Musoza, Inamusia Maria, Orini, Bridget, they are men who I work with, Then for the family, I will babuza urkanaku. Hey.
Chigana kwa bubaka anyway.
Jamadaba. Valentine's nga tsakwabi.
Valentine munai. Nhawadeyo nezinze blanket zange umanyi inakuzino Valentine inakuongeza zigana neka sawa kale obwo yabali manager Elisha kanda habwe shongeza kwatagire na Mbarara Sports Arena Super League 30+ otirona open category eri kuza kutandikira Nyakazoba acha Mbarara Sports Arena arshahemwe otakabasa kubana oferwa twegiteho obase kwaja team yawe ningasho base kuzana ningasho base konjenga services ezindi nkasauna steam bath, massage, swimming pool, tennis nango na restaurant obase kwano begiteho kuri muri Kakoba off roundabout amkono gowe gwa buryo oze kuri opposite na Besania no Mbarara Sports Arena eri kushangwa ile Nyakazoba ntuza kugera byinje munongo te opening ceremony ya open category Super Cup open Super League open category eliyo neija takabasa kwa no Mbarara Sports Arena. Otherwise, thank you so much big brother Elisha. It's always been a pleasure to have you on the show. Tubantu ndango uje kandi manisa abantu kujido misho ombyemizano twashemera munonga twakozire hamwe na producer Silver ya kitera side zibiri on the camera at the same time kuria control room yasakwa nakora kurunji munonga producer Silver wakabi webareka wasakwa no tukora kurunji munonga to the Kashgija family. Thanks for the support. Mwena himuri tindawase kuba nimba mentioning amazina Mwena, but especially teacher Edna Bino Mugisha and teacher Mbabazi Meriskovia. Mwebare kwasa kuba numu supportinga up to now. Ruhanga urukuma atakumera sente abankumere mwere kurunje.
Mwiraba.